Hello, everyone. My name is Gina Barbosa,
And I'm Melissa Bernal.
and today we're going to be talking about personal health and wellness. This is something that is very near and dear to our hearts here at Horizon Events. This is just a little bit of what we're going to be covering today. This is our index. You're going to see we're going to be touching on multiple topics, and we're going to have some scenarios as well.
We will also be discussing mindfulness and mental health support, the prevention of burnout, energy management, stress management, and physical activity for mental clarity.
So, what we like to start with at Horizon Events is mirrored examples. So, what we essentially mean by that is if our managers and leaders are showing that we're thriving in a healthy environment, we want our employees to be able to do the same as well. One of the ways that we implement this is by hosting a mindful minute. This is something that you could do at the beginning of your workday and at the end of your workday, and it helps get you reset into either your work setting or your ready to go home setting. So, making sure that you have that work-life balance, and yes, we value your time as employees, but we want to make sure that you are continuing to keep a healthy work-life balance. With that, one of our benefits is that all of our full-time employees receive 3 weeks paid vacation, and each of our part-time employees will receive 2 weeks paid vacation. So, how do we achieve personal health and wellness while also managing our workload? What we can do is set up boundaries, prioritize sleep, and exercise regularly. These seem like simple things to accomplish, but what we're looking at is setting up a personal boundary and setting up boundaries at work. They do look very different, and that's okay. Boundaries are healthy, and that's what's going to help you maintain your work-life balance. Prioritizing sleep, we know that the less sleep we have, the less energetic we're going to be, the less productive we're going to be. We want to make sure to prioritize sleep so that it is of the utmost benefit to our health. And exercising regularly, we just want to make sure that we get outside, we take hikes, we go for a walk, anything that will help kind of neutralize your nervous system is something we're always looking for. We also want to look at developing healthy eating habits, seeking support and connection, and continuously reevaluating and adjusting what your schedule looks like and how that affects you in both your personal life and your work life. So, what should I do if I feel overwhelmed? So, first thing you're going to want to do is reach out. Our team is here to help. You want to lean on your colleagues when the workload feels like it's just becoming too much, too overwhelming. You also want to make sure to let your manager know. We want to help any way that we can. If you're feeling overwhelmed, there should be some kind of solution where we can streamline a process or help split up the workload, especially if you are experiencing any kind of. So let's look at a scenario. So one of our scenarios is you have a colleague come into your office and tell you that they're dealing with a personal hardship and they feel it's beginning to affect their quality of work. You want to help, but you're not sure how you can. What are some options? First thing you can do is ask if there's anything work-wise that you can assist with. You want to make sure that you can remind the employee of their employment benefits. And you want to make sure to encourage connection with other colleagues. The more colleagues that this employee feels connected with, the more supported they'll feel and the more likely they are to reach out for help. So, two, you notice that sometimes when you're working, you feel stressed or anxious. You're utilizing the employee benefits and you're going to therapy regularly, but these feelings creep up sometimes. What are some exercises that you can utilize in real time? One of the ones that we here at Horizon Events tend to lean towards is square breathing. You can take a minute to inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 4 seconds, exhale for 4 seconds, and hold for 4 seconds. What this does is it helps to regulate your nervous system and it works as a mini meditation. And you can quite literally perform square breathing anywhere. Another thing you can do is take a walk. Taking a small break from the work environment is never frowned upon, especially if you're feeling anxious. Take the time to get outside, take a walk, clear your head, take some deep breaths, and then you can revisit whatever you are working on once you've wrapped up with that.
Next conversation that we will be having revolves around mindfulness and mental health and the importance of seeking support. We've discussed how communication is a very important portion of mental health, and being an advocate for yourself is necessary in order for us to understand where you're standing in your life and whether you need our support or not. So, because of that, as mentioned previously, our company offers services with a Fired Up Culture, which is an organization that allows us the ability to communicate with the seasonal trained leader in the industry, who you will have the opportunity to meet quarterly, weekly, monthly. It's up to you to decide, and it is completely confidential. So, preventing burnout and event planning, the role of self care and wellness. Being an event planner comes with a lot of different stressors and aggravators, which means that it is important for you to recognize the symptoms and signs prior to you leading yourself to a session of burnout. So, how can you do this? How can you recognize that you are getting to a place where you're not working efficiently, where you're becoming more upset over things, whether you're losing more control over situations? We can start by answering the following questions. For example, do you question the quality of your work? Does work coming to work feel like you're being forced? Is it no longer fulfilling? Do you not have the energy to do your job well? Are you feeling less patient with yourself, with your coworkers, with clients? Is it hard to focus on your tasks? Are you questioning your abilities and skills? All of these questions can help us determine whether we're in a position where burnout is clearly affecting our capabilities and our mindset. So it's important that before we get to this position that we take the time to internalize our emotions and think about where we're feeling and where we're at, so that we can move forward knowing what we can do to assist you and how you can assist yourself. So how do we aid this? The first and foremost is communication. We are offering you the resources to seek support, whether that be within your leadership team or with Fired Up or any other resource that we offer, including therapy. You need to communicate your feelings in order for us to understand the ways we can support you and help you and guide you throughout this journey. The next option is understanding your options. Lay it all out. Be very transparent with where you're at, how you're feeling. Being open not only allows your team to understand where your emotions are coming from, but how to also move forward and navigate those and see where things can be removed from your plate or things can be changed and altered so that you're not feeling this burden and this burnout. We will next be discussing about energy management and maximizing productivity through healthy habits. Of course, we're a company that organizes marathons and different events, so we've definitely prioritized personal well-being, not just mental, but also physical. So I know that our jobs are mainly sitting down and staring at a computer screen, so it's important that you get your body moving around and that you take a break and step away from your computer so that you can get blood pumping through your veins and that you feel less stress from from sitting at your desk all day. So how can we maximize our energies? First and foremost, it's important to understand where your energy is high and low. So, what causes your energy to become high and what really deteriorates that energy. By understanding this, you're able to understand your triggers, you're able to understand where your boundaries are, and you're able to understand what you need from your position. It's also important that you're feeding your body with proper nutrition. Of course, as I mentioned, you're going to be sitting down at your computer, so feeding your body with the nutrition that it needs to provide energy is very important, and that includes drinking water during the day, taking a snack break, and eating a well-balanced lunch. Why is this important? Because in the long term, it aids in productivity, it provides good work ethic, and it also improves your mental health and provides you with mental clarity when you are in moments of stress. It also improves your health and physical well-being, it improves your better decision making, and increases self-motivation and accountability. In the long term, all of these steps can help you just become a better version of yourself and help you develop that skill set that you're working towards. Stress management strategies. As we've mentioned, Being an event planner comes with a lot of stress and a lot of problem solving, which can cause different types of implications that can cause long-term effects. What does stress cause? Not only does it cause more issues, it also can cause burnout, exasperation of existing conditions, mental and emotional effects, and it can also just affect your job productivity overall. So, how do we combat this? Acceptance is a first step. And by acceptance, we mean accept when things cannot be changed rather than having to feel like you have to find a way to solve every problem that comes your way. Assertion comes from asserting your emotions, understanding your emotions, not trying to overload yourself just because you feel like you need to, rather accepting that you're at a place where you cannot do extra work and just being clear to yourself and maintaining those emotions. Tracking your stressors can also really, really help with navigating stress. It goes back to the whole thing of having clear boundaries and understanding what can trigger you more than other things and learning how to create that skill set to overcome those. Physical activity for mental clarity. Why event planners need movement. We're always sitting down at a desk staring at a screen, so it's important that we discuss how maintaining a regular exercise regimen is important, which is why prior to us even starting our event and doing our mindful meetings, we do stretches prior to sitting down at our desk, and we join together as a group and just take a moment to just enjoy us and what we're doing. Um, Mental fog is definitely something that is very common within our industry. After burning ourselves out, we constantly get put into a state of where we're just cranking out work to crank out work, which is not only quite dangerous, but it can also lead to overload and burnout. And it also can impact your performance and cause health implications.
Thank you all, and thank you for joining our presentation. Like we said before, this is of the utmost importance to Horizon Events. So please, if any of you have any questions, please reach out. We are more than happy to help, and have a wonderful day.